Yes, people. How are we all doing? It is time for the match week number 9 of the 21-22 Bundesliga season. Let's have a quick look how everyone did in match week number 8. What I will say is it has been, scores ranged from 2s to 3s to 4s, and there was one person that got 6 in this in that week. I only got 2. I only got 2, so not a very good week. This little fella got 2 as well. So I'll go for everyone's scores, and then we can go on to match week number 9 as well. So the hat 2, me 2, Lanzo 3, Shane 3, the Asian sensational FC 3, Reese 3, James Dunlop 3, Sean Brennan 4, and Chris Welsh 4. And one person got 6, and that was Sportcat 1. So very well done, Sportcat 1. Quite a tricky week, I thought. Quite a tricky week to predict anyway. So the first game to preview and predict on Friday, it is Mainz against Augsburg. It is 5 wins to Augsburg, surprisingly enough, and our last meeting was a 1-0 win to Augsburg. Mainz have lost 3 on the trot now. It has to be said, against Dortmund, they were unlucky to lose, I thought. The way that they played. Dortmund have not kept a clean sheet all season, so that run continues. But I look at Mainz and I just think that they're going to be. I just have a feeling that they should bounce back. They should bounce back. Augsburg were involved in a 1-1 draw. Nice to see Reece Oxford get his first ever goal for Augsburg. Very impressive to see him get his first goal. Obviously on, people remember him West Ham, and he was a very good player there as well. So I think Augsburg, I think the wins are going to come, but I just don't see it coming here. I think Mainz will definitely bounce back, and I do think Mainz are better at home than they are away. So I'm going to go for Mainz to bounce back after a defeat to Borussia Dortmund, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Mainz in this one. And now we have Arminia Bielefeld against Borussia Dortmund. 3 wins to Dortmund and 2 draws. The last result was a 2-0 win to Borussia Dortmund. Arminia Bielefeld getting a 1-1 draw with Augsburg. It has to be said, Augsburg against Arminia Bielefeld, it wasn't a great game, but the 2 goalkeepers were on show, weren't they? Stefan Ortega for Arminia Bielefeld. I think if Bielefeld go down, I think that's one player to not lose is their goalkeeper. I think their goalkeeper has been absolutely fantastic this season so far as well. I just mentioned that Borussia Dortmund have not kept a clean sheet all season, and they were absolutely destroyed by Ajax in Amsterdam by 4-0. That was a very shocking game for them as well. However, against Mainz, they were very good. And the other thing I can say is that Erling Haaland has now scored 49 goals in 49 Bundesliga appearances. Absolutely incredible. And I think that's 69 goals now for him for Borussia Dortmund as well. Now, I have said that Borussia Dortmund haven't actually kept the clean sheet, but Arminia Bielefeld are actually lacking in goals at this moment in time. So I am going to go for a 2-0 win to Dortmund, and they will get their first clean sheet of this season. And now 2 teams who were on the back of heavy wins at the end of last match week were Bayern Munich and Hoffenheim. My goodness me. 3 wins to Bayern Munich and 2 wins to Hoffenheim. The last result was a 4-1 win to Bayern Munich. But Bayern Munich, that is why they are the champions of Germany. Bounce back after a home defeat against Frankfurt. Score 5 goals in the first half. I mean, some of the football was absolutely scintillating, wasn't it? Lewandowski was absolutely fantastic. And I have to say, it was just bloody brilliant. It really, really was. I was very, very impressed. Obviously, Lewandowski getting 2, Serge Gnabry scoring 2 as well, and Thomas Müller getting the goal as well. Obviously, Patrick Schick did get a goal in the second half as well, but Bayern Munich were absolutely fantastic, and they'll take some beating. They will take some beating. However, Hoffenheim absolutely hammered FC Köln by 5-0. Very, very impressive, Hoffenheim. And one man in particular, Kramaric, 2 assists in that game as well. He's been fantastic this season. He really, really has. And I do think that they are going to go on from strength to strength. So this is a tricky one to call, but the way Bayern Munich played in that game against Bayer Leverkusen, you just have to feel that Bayern Munich are going to win this one. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Bayern Munich. Again, I don't think Bayern keep many clean sheets either, but that won't matter anyway. But I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Bayern Munich. And now we have RB Leipzig against Greuther Fürth. It is 3 wins to Leipzig and 1 draw. There's only been 4 meetings between these two, and it is a 2-2 draw, the last 2 meetings as well. Leipzig did get a draw against Freiburg. They took the lead. Emil Forsberg scoring from the penalty spot. To be fair, it was a bit of a controversial decision. I think Nkunku actually goes into the actual disappointed. It was a disappointing decision because I didn't think it was a penalty. I think the way that he goes into the challenge, I think he's actually anticipated the contact. So yeah, obviously Leipzig got a 1-1 draw from that. But yeah, Freiburg got a very, very good win as well. Greuther Fürth, still no home wins in the Bundesliga. Look, they tried and they tried and they tried. I mean, you can say that for sure, but it was a cagey game. It was a very, very cagey game. It's usually a cagey game between, the bottom 2 anyway. And you obviously Bochum get, a very, very good win as well. But Greuther Fürth, you feeling that the writing is on the wall for them, unfortunately. You just don't see where the goals are going to come from, and you don't see where the wins are going to come from, unfortunately. And going to the Leipzig arena, I am honestly going to say that Leipzig will win this one. And I think it's only a matter of how many in this one. I'm going 3-0. I'm going to be kind to Greuther Fürth. I think Leipzig will win by 3-0. And now we have VFL Wolfsburg against SC Freiburg. It is 1 win to Wolfsburg, 1 win to Freiburg, and 3 draws. The last result was a 3-0 win to Wolfsburg. But Wolfsburg back-to-back defeats now. It's not looking very, very good, is it? Look, I think the thing is that Wolfsburg have started very, very well. Against Union, it had 2 second-half goals were the pick of the bunch in that one. But yeah, Wolfsburg, they lost 3-1 against Salzburg as well. So it's not been a very, very good time of it recently for Wolfsburg. However, they are coming up against one of the only unbeaten teams in the top 5 leagues in Europe, and that is SC Freiburg. So I know Lanzo is a big Freiburg fan. He will be absolutely delighted as well. Obviously, Freiburg did start their first home game in their new stadium as well. 1-1 with Leipzig, which was a very, very good result as well. You never count out Freiburg, have you? So it's been a very, very good time of it for Freiburg. I am going to go for a 2-1 win for Freiburg. I really am. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Freiburg. I think Freiburg will go to Wolfsburg, and I do think that they can go and win. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Freiburg. And now we have Hertha Berlin against Borussia Mönchengladbach. It is 1 win to Hertha, 1 win to Borussia, and 3 draws. The last result was a 2-2 draw. Let me just check how Hertha did. Oh yes, they won by 2-1 against Eintracht Frankfurt. There's me thinking that Frankfurt were going to win at home, and obviously they didn't. But fair play to Hertha. They've had a few bad results coming in there as well, but a very, very good victory as well, you would have to say. Borussia Mönchengladbach 1-1 with Stuttgart. Disappointing result, I'd have to say. It was not a very, very good result at all. You know, you'd have to say that, you know, at least they got the draw in the end. I mean, but they had chances to win that game. Obviously, I think Alisson Player had a chance right at the end of the game, but obviously it wasn't to be for Mönchengladbach. So these two sides, I mean, Mönchengladbach are probably one of the, you know, informed teams at this moment in time. Hertha managed to get a very good victory in the last game. So I'm going to say that it's going to be a 1-1 draw between these two. Obviously, I would like Mönchengladbach to win, because obviously my German team are Mönchengladbach. So obviously I want them to win. But I just think that this game, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw as well. So moving on to the Sunday games, we have FC Köln against Bayer Leverkusen. It's 2 wins to Köln and 3 wins to Leverkusen. The last result was a 4-0 win to Leverkusen, but both of these sides on the back of heavy defeats in the last match. FC Köln got absolutely battered by 5-0 against Hoffenheim. Just ripped apart, completely ripped apart by Hoffenheim's very, very good attacking play as well. Very, very interesting to see what is actually going to happen there as well. Look, I think FC Köln have done very, very well to start the season, but unfortunately it's just not looking good for them at this moment in time. 5-0 defeat was very, very disappointing. Bayer Leverkusen as well, 5-1 to Bayern Munich. Obviously Patrick Schick got the goal to get to basically get on the score sheet against Bayern Munich, but they were just blitzed apart by some fantastic passing, it has to be said, from Bayern Munich as well. Obviously, both of these sides were on the end of heavy defeats. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Leverkusen. I think Leverkusen are the better team, and I do think that they will win this one. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Leverkusen. And then we have VFB Stuttgart against FC Union Berlin. 1 win to Stuttgart, 1 win to Berlin, and 3 draws. The last result was a 2-2 draw. Stuttgart getting a 1-1 with Mönchengladbach. Arsenal fans, remember the name Konstantinos Mavropanos. He scored an absolute beauty from 35 yards out into the corner of the net to give Stuttgart a 1-0 lead. And it was a very, very good finish. And, you know, obviously Stuttgart will be hoping to possibly keep him if they do stay up as well. I think there is a clause in that deal. I think if they stay up, I think Mavropanos will sign on as well. Union Berlin 2-0 against Wolfsburg, very, very impressive as well. And Taiwo Awoniyi has been sensational. I've said it in a lot of these videos that he seems to be the main man for them, and I have to say he has been fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how well he can do with the weeks going forward. Tricky one to call again, but I'm going to go for Union Berlin. I think Union Berlin are just too good at this moment in time. So I'm going to go for a narrow 1-0 victory to Union Berlin. And now we have VFL Bochum against Eintracht Frankfurt to finish off the matches this week. It's 5 wins to Frankfurt, believe it or not, and the last result was a 2-0 win to Frankfurt. Bochum getting a massive victory, it has to be said, at this stage in the season. 1-0 away to Greuther Fürth. Doesn't matter how you win, doesn't matter how you play, all about getting the 3 points, and they managed to do that. So very, very well done to VFL Bochum for getting that victory. Frankfurt, on the other hand, disappointing, because after the win against Bayern Munich, they go and lose at home to Hertha Berlin. Yeah, disappointing. Very, very disappointing. I mean, Hertha Berlin played really, really well to get that victory as well, but it was disappointing. It was very, very disappointing. But VFL Bochum, I mean, they're kind of starting to, you know, get wins, but it's all about consistency for them as well. If I'm looking at this game, and I can really only see a Frankfurt win, if I'm being totally honest. So I'm going to go VFL Bochum 0, Frankfurt 2. So that is my predictions done and dusted. We will see what the hat thinks very, very shortly. So FSV Mainz 2, Augsburg 1, Arminia Bielefeld 0, Borussia Dortmund 2, Bayern Munich 3, Hoffenheim 1, Leipzig 3, Greuther Fürth 0, Wolfsburg 1, Freiburg 2, Hertha 1, Borussia Mönchengladbach 1, FC Köln 1, Bayer Leverkusen 3, VFB Stuttgart 0, Union Berlin 1, VFL Bochum 0, Eintracht Frankfurt 2. So that's what I think. Now it is time to see what the hat thinks as well. So we shall see. So the first game, VFS Mainz versus Augsburg, away win. Well, we shall see what happens with that one. But he thinks it's going to be an away win to Augsburg. Could be very, very interesting, that one. Let's give this a good shuffle. Arminia Bielefeld against Borussia Dortmund. Draw. Possible. Dortmund are hit and miss at the moment. And Bielefeld are looking for their... their first 3 points of the season as well. Bayern Munich versus Hoffenheim. Away win. I mean, Bayern Munich did lose the last match, so who knows? Who knows for that one? Leipzig versus Greuther Fürth. Draw. Unlikely. But you never know. You never know. Hasn't picked a home win yet, so should be very, very interesting anyway. Should be 3 in there. Yeah, there is. Do we have Wolfsburg against VF Freiburg? Away win again. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So he agrees with me about Freiburg. Just check, there is obviously 3 in there. Yes, there is. There's 3 in there. I did think there were 3 in there. The home one is the home one is in there, obviously, but doesn't seem to be. Never mind. Never mind. Anyway. Right, give me a wee minute. I'll just need to do a home win anyway. So, give me a wee minute. So, I seem to have misplaced my home win. So, there we go. Right. So, there we go. There's home win. So, right. So, Hertha Berlin versus Borussia Mönchengladbach. Another away win. Another away win. Very, very interesting indeed. Right. FC Köln against Bayer Leverkusen. Another away win. This is very, very interesting from the hat this week. Very, very interesting. So, Stuttgart, Berlin. Draw. There's a draw. And finally, Bochum against Frankfurt. Surely it's not going to be a home win, is it? There we go. VFL Bochum against Frankfurt. The one time I say home win, and it happens to that. Home win as well. So very, very interesting from the hat. We have an away win for Augsburg against Mainz. Draw between Bielefeld and Dortmund. Away win for Hoffenheim against Bayern Munich. Draw between Leipzig and Greuther Fürth. Away win for Freiburg away at Wolfsburg. An away win for Borussia Mönchengladbach against Hertha Berlin. FC Köln, Bayer Leverkusen away win for Leverkusen. a draw between VFB Stuttgart and Union Berlin, and an unlikely home win for Bochum against Frankfurt. So that is what I think. That's what the hat thinks. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and we will see what happens anyway. But until then, it is goodbye from me. If you do like the content, please hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video as well, and apologies for the bit in the middle there. Obviously I didn't check beforehand that I didn't have the home win in there, so obviously had to get another one. But auf Wiedersehen, tschüss.